All right, good morning everybody. I think we're gonna do a little walk around of the Titan that's actually a rental for me today. My truck is out in the shop getting some window work done. Started to rain on my feet when it was raining, so that wasn't very good. But I figured, heck, I got the truck, or this truck, so let's talk about it a little bit. I know everybody's always in the market for trucks, and so I figured, what the heck, got it, let's do it, let's see what it's all about. I never really looked into the Nissan trucks. I had some old Nissan Datsun trucks back in the day. Absolutely loved those. Usually their quality is pretty good, just a little, I would say, plain. That's kind of what they go for. They go for more of a utilitarian type look. And this particular one is a crew cab. It does have the 5.5 foot bed, I believe is what Nissan calls it. I'll call it the little short bed. To me, don't fit my style. I know a lot of people love the little short bed. They are easier to drive around parking lots, things like that. But that's, everybody has their likes and dislikes. But open it up here, and it is actually a dampened tailgate, so good to Nissan for that. And it's got assist. It was super easy, 2 fingers. So that was really nice. So let's talk about the back a little bit. Like I said, this is a plain Janer. I don't know exactly which model this is, but it is a crew cab. There is quite a bit of room in the back here. It's my backpack I use every day, so let's throw that over there. But yeah, I'll get a video of me sitting in there, and I'm over 6 foot, so the driver's seat is where I normally have it. I haven't touched that passenger seat, so who the heck knows what's over there. I believe this folds up. Yep, it's like that. So it's a 60/40 release on the bottom, very similar to my Ford. Not a flat floor though. It does have a little bit of a bump here in the middle. I know it's a little hard to see there in the video, but yeah, there's a little bump there. It is vinyl floor, like I said. I think I said it a couple times now, but so somebody that wants just a work truck type, not just wants to be able to hose it out, there you go. Okay, so I'm in the truck, back seat, tons of headroom, do have a hat on. Let's look over here at my leg room, and I got plenty of room. Like I said, the seat is set for me. I'm over 6 foot, and I'm sitting in the back seat, so I would say it's pretty comparable to most of the other crew cabs that are out there. A little on the smaller side. I know the Fords and the Chevys, I think, have a little bit more room in the back seat. I haven't sat in a newer Dodge yet. I plan on wanting to do that, soon. Do some comparisons on that. Okay, now we're up into the front, and it's still cold. I haven't started it yet. Decent sized screen. It's not the biggest in the world. I would imagine that they have a option for a bigger one when you get more packages. But a lot of plastic. There isn't much soft in this, so it is kind of a planer, like I said. This here was a little soft, which I kind of liked, and the armrest area was okay. But it does come with push button start, which I like. Plenty of room inside, lots of room. Here, we'll take a look here in my head. So plenty of room. Like I said, I'm over 6 foot, so plenty of room here. There's plenty of room here, which I like. This one does have a flip down console. So there's the flip down here. I got all my stuff in here, but this is actually a full bench seat across with the flip down in it. I know a lot of people like this. I personally am not a fan of it. I prefer the whole console and the 2 bucket seats in the front, and that's just kind of my preference. That's just something I like better. I know a lot of people like the 6-passenger truck, which is, you know, what it is. You know, if you got 6 people, you know, then that's the option that you need. Otherwise, you know, some people just prefer the other one. Gauge layout is decent. I like having the analog sweeping instead of the full digital dash. Again, that's just kind of one of my preferences. Everybody likes things differently, and it sweeps through fairly easy. You get your controls here. This one right here actually scrolls through the center screen. Here, I'll zoom in on the center screen here. So there we go there, and you can just scroll through and go through all your settings there. So pretty decent, not too bad. They're fairly basic, like I said. And that's my trip home. It's like 12 miles and 20 miles a gallon, so that's pretty cool. And that's just how it is there. Radio controls and stuff are on here as well, along with the phone. And over here on this side, you have the cruise control. A few little buttons down here. I call this one the fun button, but that's a traction control button. Hazards, a couple of USBs and an aux down here. A little cubby to put a phone. Looks like probably a cigarette lighter plug. Yeah, 12-volt plug over there. Fairly basic functions on the controls. Your 4-wheel drive is here. Yeah, that's kind of about it. We'll do maybe some other driving stuff on it here in a little bit. Let's pull on the freeway here and see what it does. It sounds good. Traction control definitely derated the power. But it seems to work pretty good. Alright everyone, we're actually out driving now. There is one thing that I did want to point out. I know I did say earlier that it seemed like there was, you know, ample room and stuff in it. I tried to adjust my seat back a little bit farther to give me some more leg room, and actually it's back all the way. And it's I would like to have more room, being over 6 feet tall. So let me show you what my knees look like right now. So it may not look like much on the camera, but my arms are fairly, you know, I don't know. The steering wheel is close to my knees, and it doesn't telescope or anything like that. It just goes up and down. So I would like to be able to move the seat back a little farther. Then it doesn't look like that is going to happen. So with that being said, that is one thing that I noticed that I am not particularly impressed with. I thought that it would have more room in it than that. Let's see, what else was I thinking about while I was driving? I just figured, oh, I better pick up the camera and get this on before I forget. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was all for now. Alright. At a stoplight, I do remember there was one other thing that I did want to mention, and I didn't realize it till after I was talking about the other stuff and I got into a couple of lights. So, what I did want to mention, alright, there's two things. What the heck is that? It looks like a toy. Anyway, what I wanted to mention is the throttle on this is not what I would call smooth. When you first hit it, there's like a huge dead spot, and then it kind of like jerks you back. I've tried driving around that to make it feel smoother. I can't do it. Maybe somebody's got some more input on that, but it is a weird spot. So like I'm going around a corner, I go to hit the throttle and, you know, and I'm not even hitting it very hard. It's just like a dead spot, and then it all of a sudden has power. I think it's a bad, I don't know, design, or the way that they tune the throttle in it or something. It's not super smooth. Now the transmission, on the other hand, it works really smooth. No complaints on that. But I did want to mention the throttle feel, because to me, if I had to drive this every day, yeah, I might get used to it, maybe, but I sure would be looking for a way to fix it, because I don't like that feeling that there's nothing there and all of a sudden, you got power. There's a big delay in it. Somebody else maybe give me their input. Maybe somebody else has one of these trucks. Maybe there's a way around it. I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because it is something that I find quite annoying, and it's almost a little disheartening feeling. Maybe disheartening is not the right words. It doesn't feel like you have any confidence when you go to pull out and all of a sudden you push on the throttle and there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden it's there and you're like, whoa, that's way too aggressive. So that's kind of what it's like. There's got to be a way to fix it, I hope, but I did want to bring that up as I was driving it. Other than that, so far so good. It just drives like a truck. It definitely has fairly firm suspension. I don't know what it would be like with a load in it, but it is definitely firmer than my Ford feeling. I don't know if it's just the spring rates are a little tighter, or if it's just got just plain stiffer like shocks and stuff in it. But it definitely's got a little firmer ride to it. I do notice a little bit more of a bounce in the truck. Maybe the feel of like the frame or something, it just kind of has a little bit more of an old school truck feel. Where if I go over bumps and stuff with my truck, you can't feel like the tail of the truck just kind of shake. And that's what kind of one of the things I noticed as well. I go over some railroad tracks, things like that. It does kind of have that old school non-boxed frame feeling. I haven't looked underneath this yet to actually see if the tail section of the frame is boxed or not, or fully boxed. If it is, that's not that cool, being that it kind of has that shake like an old C-channel frame. So those are my thoughts so far on it. I'll come back with some more. So I figured I'd add this to the review, this little review for this Titan. I did have to go to Home Depot on the way home and pick up some flooring. So I figured, why not try it in this? Don't have my truck, so let's put 42 boxes of vinyl plank flooring in the truck to see how it does with the weight. Really, I'm impressed. I don't actually know what it weighs back there. I was imagining it's somewhere over 1,000 pounds at least. I'll try to figure that out and put it into the description. But I'll do some outside shots and stuff in it with the suspension, going over bumps and stuff through town, things like that. It's actually handling it really well. So, good credit there to Nissan for that. They did a pretty good job of making that do pretty good. I was wondering about how it was going to do, because empty it rides fairly rigid, like I mentioned earlier, and I didn't know if maybe it was just rigid just because it was just a rigid ride, or it was rigid because it actually had some suspension under it and can handle some weight. I'm going to go with it's rigid because it's got some suspension under it and it can actually handle some weight. So I just figured I'd throw that in there and talk about that a little bit. I'll get some outside shots of what it looks like sitting. I'll try to get it as level as I can where I gotta go, and it does make it squat a little bit. I would imagine that it probably dropped at least 3 inches. It had a pretty good rake to it, and now it has a reverse rake to it. So got a little bit of that Cali lean going on, but other than that, she's doing pretty good. So all right, so it's not perfectly level where I got it parked, but you can see it is definitely squatting in the rear. Actually, I went over some railroad tracks and it actually hits the bump stops, but there you go, 42 boxes of flooring. And here is a after it is on. All right, I wanted to get some final thoughts on the truck here before I have to give it back. And you did see there that I had 42 boxes of flooring in it. That was quite a bit of weight. I was surprised. I think they were 41 pounds and 41.12 or something, I said, per box. So I will have a little calculator shot or something of that in the video so you can see how much there was in there. And you know, I did say that when I was going over some railroad tracks with it, that I did feel that it might have hit the stops. Granted, I wasn't paying attention, and I probably went across those railroad tracks, which have a pretty good dip in them, you know, at like 40. So probably wasn't a good idea. But other than that, I actually have to give it credit. It handled the weight really, really well, considering what it was. I truly think my truck probably would have squatted more than this did, because that was, like I said, I can't remember right off the top of my head. It was 17 or 1800 pounds, which is quite a bit of weight for a half-ton truck or half-ton class truck. And it handled it really well. So I did want to note that here at the end of the video, and I also wanted to put at the end of the video here that I'll do a little screenshot of the mileage on my basically commute back and forth to work, which is some stoplights, a little bit of city, and then some 2-lane highway, which is about 60 miles an hour. And then there is a chunk of highway before I get to work that is 55 or 60, and it has stoplights in the middle of it. So that one does hurt mileage a little bit, but I wanted to kind of showcase what the truck actually is doing. All right, so at the end of the trip here, and we'll give you a little idea of what it got for mileage. We'll pan over here to the center stack and show you. Okay, so there it is. It says an average of 19.2, and if we go there, I have put 106 miles on it in 2 hours and 59 minutes, and it averaged 19.2, and that's what it says on there. Whether that thing's true or not, still not too shabby for a V8 truck driving around through town. Went and picked up some stuff with it, so I'm pretty happy with it. That's pretty good. Good job, Nissan.